Hello everyone, this is Ghada Abdelghani and today we will be going through constituency tests. First of all, we will know the meaning of a sentence, also the definition of a constituent, along with constituency tests, substitution, movement, question form, and coordination. Last but not least, we will take some examples to make it more clear. To begin with, what is a sentence? A set of words that make perfect sense is called a sentence. It has a capital letter at the start and a full stop at the conclusion. It always has a finite verb in it. A sentence can be an order, a question when you want to know about something, you ask or you make a question. An exclamation when you want to show your excitement or your reaction towards something. Or a declaration that refers to a formal statement or announcement made with significance. For example, when you say, his passionate declaration of love took her by surprise. There is one or more subordinate clauses in addition to the main sentence. A sentence might be lengthy, long, and complicated, or brief and simple. As an illustration, she enjoys candy. She likes Bengali desserts. She's fond of milk-based Bengali sweets. She enjoys the delicious milk-based Bengali sweets. So when we went through these four sentences, we know that a sentence could be brief and simple or lengthy and complicated. Okay, so now we knew the meaning of a sentence that would lead us now to the meaning of a constituent. What is a constituent? A constituent refers to a fundamental unit within a sentence that functions together as a single part of speech. Essentially, it's a group of words that form a syntactic unit. For instance, in the sentence, the cat chased the mouse. Both the cat and the mouse are constituents functioning as noun phrases. That means that they are part of the sentence. They do something in the sentence. Constituents can be larger or smaller units depending on the context. Of course, depending on the sentence itself. They can include individual words, phrases, or even clauses. Identifying constituents helps in understanding the structure and the meaning of sentences. Constituents of a sentence include, for example, all the words and phrases that make up the sentence. Words, phrases, and clauses can be all constituents. What does that mean? That means that we can have individual words as constituents. For instance, in the sentence she sings, both she and sings are individual words functioning as constituents. Each word serves as a specific grammatical role, subject, and verb within the sentence. Also, we can have phrases as constituents. For example, in the sentence, the big brown dog chased the cat. The big brown dog is a noun phrase functioning as the subject. That means that it is a part of the sentence. And the cat is another noun phrase functioning as the direct object. Both of these phrases are constituents within the sentence. Along with the clauses as constituents. In the sentence, although it was raining, she went for a walk. Although it was raining is a subordinate, a conjunction, a subordinate clause functioning as an adverbial clause, and she went for a walk is the main clause. Both of these clauses are constituents within the sentence. The third thing that we're here today to illustrate is constituency tests. We have four different types of constituency tests that we're going to go through today. The first one is substitution. Substitution is when you replace a word or phrase with a pronoun to check if the sentence still makes sense. That means that we cannot replace a noun or a name with a verb. The second type is movement, is when you move a word or phrase within a sentence to see if it remains grammatical, or if it remains right, or if it remains meaningful. The third type is question form. Transform the sentence into a question to determine if the questioned element is a constituent. Coordination, combine two phrases using conjunctions, for instance, and, to check if the elements are constituents. We do all this type of constituency tests to see if the noun or the verb or the name is a constituent. Okay, let's now make it clear and take some examples to know what we really mean. Example 1. The boys play at school. The boys, which is a noun phrase, I want to play with it to know if it's really constituent. Number 1, substitution. They play at school. I replaced the word the boys with pronoun they to kind of examine the sentence if it still makes sense, or examine the boys if the word is a constituent. Number 2, movement. At school, the boys play. I moved the word the boys to the middle to examine if it's still a constituent, or if I can consider it a constituent. Number 3, question form. Who play at school? The boys. I transformed the sentence into a question form to know if the boys works as a constituent. Coordination. The boys and the girls play at school. I added a new word, which is and the girls, to know if the boys still accepts addition or if the boys is a constituent. Okay, the previous sentence we played with a noun. Now let's play with a verb. John ate potatoes in the kitchen. Ate, which is a verb phrase, we want to play with it to examine it if it's a constituent or not. Number 1, substitution. John peeled potatoes in the kitchen. We replaced ate with peeled to examine ate if it's a constituent, and it is actually a constituent because ate accepted to be replaced with peeled or with another verb. Number 2, movement. Eating potatoes is what John did in the kitchen. I moved the verb ate in the beginning to make sure that it's a constituent or it accepts to be moved. Number 3, question form. What did John do in the kitchen? He ate potatoes. I transformed the sentence into a question form to know if ate is a constituent or if the verb can be a constituent. Coordination. John ate and washed potatoes. Here I added a new word, which is and washed, to make sure that add accepts addition or accepts coordination. Now let's take a bigger sentence to know what we really mean. Now I'll play with this article. I'll substitute it with it. It investigates the implementation of net metering and etc. That means that this article is replaced or substituted with it, which is a pronoun. And notice that we actually substitute or replace a noun with a pronoun. So that means that we cannot replace a noun with a verb and vice versa. Number 2, pseudoclifting. Pseudoclifting, actually, the definition of it is starting the word or starting the sentence with WH word. What this article does is investigating the implementation of net metering session program, etc. Number 3, question 4. What investigates the implementation? This article. So I transformed the sentence, this whole sentence, into a question to know if this article accepts to be a constituent or if it is actually a constituent. Number 4, coordination. This article and form investigate. So I added a new addition to this article. I added and form. So that means that this article accepts addition or coordination. So that means it is actually a part of the sentence or a constituent. Thank you so much for watching. You'll find all the resources that helped me record this video down below in the description. Thank you. Bye bye.